Hi friends, Travis here, and I just got off of the Carnival Conquest a couple of weeks ago, and in today's video I want to talk about that experience. I want to give you some likes, some dislikes, some final thoughts, all that. If you're new to the channel, I want to welcome you. If at any point you like what you see, feel free to like, comment, share, subscribe, all those things. And if you've been here before, welcome back. But yeah, without further delay, let's go ahead and move right on into it. So as is my usual format, I'm going to start with the bad so that we can kind of like end on a positive note. A little bit of a disclaimer, some people think that I'm a big hater because all they watch is the first 2 minutes of the video and I'm, talking about things that are negative. But there are positive things coming up later in the video if you stick around. I'm just trying to present information that might be helpful to people who are considering the Carnival Conquest and Carnival in the future. All right, so the first thing that I didn't really like on the Carnival Conquest is the internet, and I cannot reiterate this enough. This was the worst, hands down, internet I've ever had on a cruise ship. In 6 cruises that I've been on, I don't know why I paid $15 a day for it. I really do feel like I was ripped off. Yeah, I hate to be really passionate about it, but my mind is blown by how bad the internet was on the Carnival Conquest. Now, I know some people go on cruises to disconnect and to, detach from the world and things like that, and I get that, and I would be completely fine with that if I didn't spend so much money on the internet. I need it for work, and as a solo cruiser, I think it's important to be able to, be in contact with your family in the case of an emergency or something to that effect. An example is that on one of my cruises, my credit card was declined, and luckily I was with someone on that cruise who was able to pick up the remainder of the bill at the last minute, because since I didn't have internet, I couldn't even contact my bank, so yeah, things like that are important in the world that we live in today. So that's why I need internet. And the internet on the Carnival Conquest was not it. The second thing I didn't really like about the Carnival Conquest, and this is just kind of like my experience with Carnival at large, is the way they do excursions, or the way they offer excursions. So the first thing is that excursions on Carnival or through Carnival are expensive. And I don't know why they're so expensive. They're more expensive than Royal. They're definitely more expensive than MSC. But then they also don't offer the same excursions pre-embarkation as they do on board. I've noticed that on 2 Carnival cruises now, where I would get on board and all of a sudden there's all these different excursions that weren't available to me before. And it's like, well, what if I had already booked stuff and now these are better than what I booked and it's too late for me to change things and blah, 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 right? So I don't know why they do it that way or, what the deal is, but Carnival excursions need some work. And then the last thing I found that I didn't really like is just that the ship is showing its age. I mean, this is obviously the first in the class, and the class in general is pretty old, but, you can definitely see, areas where things are kind of falling apart, or for example, in the main dining room, they have dividers between the different booths and stuff, and the edges of those dividers are like Eiffel Towers, right? Just because of the theme of the ship, it's the Monet dining room. It's supposed to be, he's a French artist, so it's very French themed, etc. So they have these Eiffel Tower designs on the sides of those that hold the glass in place. And on more than one of the booths, the Eiffel Tower tops had been broken off. And, it's that's an easy fix, I feel like. And if you don't have the piece to glue back on, then redo the tops of the things. It just kind of seems like an obvious sign of neglect in a way. And I know Carnival's not really known for maintaining their ships very well. But have some pride in I guess, your appearance, and I think more people will take you seriously as a cruise line. But anyway, what do I know? And all right, that's enough of the bad stuff. Let's talk about the good, because there was plenty of that as well. So the first thing I want to talk about is the food. I mentioned this on my Carnival Liberty final thoughts video. And this time I even tried more of it on board. I made it a point to go to the barbecue place. I made it a point to eat at the Lido buffet. All of those things, as well as, the pizza, and I ate at the deli, and we ate in the MDR, and we even did Lido buffet dinner one night. So yeah, I made sure to try as much of the food as I possibly could, and definitely big thumbs up on that. I didn't really like the barbecue place that much, and the Lido buffet was lacking in options. It was one of the smallest buffets I've ever seen. But overall, their food quality and, the variety of different places on board is there. I love Blue Iguana. The pizza's really good. The MDR, was definitely reliably good. And, yeah, so, definitely can't give enough credit to Carnival for having good food. I really enjoyed the cuisine on the Carnival Conquest. The next thing I want to say, and this is because I really criticized my Carnival Liberty experience last time, I felt like the Carnival Conquest cruise this time was a lot more inclusive of solo cruisers, LGBTQ cruisers, things like that. It felt like a much more all encompassing, we love people from all walks of life, we genuinely want you to be here kind of experience versus the last one. And that's not to say that Liberty was bad by any means. It was fine. I had a good time. But I think definitely the fact that this was a Sailabration cruise, which was a Carnival birthday cruise, amplified that sort of image of fun and friendship and whatever. And also this cruise ship was much closer to full capacity than the Liberty was when I was on it. And so that opened the door for, more, individualized kind of meetups. I also joined the Facebook group. Well, I was in the Facebook group for both, but I think the Facebook group for the Carnival Conquest was lots of fun, and they created their own events that just made me feel warm and fuzzy the whole time. So yeah, definitely shout out to Carnival and the Conquest team and the people that were on my sailing in the second week of March of 2022, because yeah, y'all nailed it. And the last thing I want to talk about as a positive are the changes in protocols that I experienced from my last cruise to this one. Obviously masks are now optional on board, which means there's a lot more that we can do. For example, when I was on the Liberty, when I sang karaoke, they literally made me sing with my mask on, which I thought was just bizarre. I understand why we were wearing masks and that kind of thing, but if everybody in the room has their mask on, the singer could have taken theirs off and not suffocated while they were singing. So that was definitely something on Liberty that was kind of weird to me, but that was not a problem and not the case on the Conquest. I was able to sing my lungs out every single night without a mask on, and enjoy other venues and other games and activities and opportunities because masks were gone and that sort of thing. So I'm looking forward to protocols continuing to loosen. I'm definitely pro people being healthy. I'd like to see pre-embarkation testing go away, and that's not because I'm anti-COVID testing. I just think that it causes a lot of issues with embarkation and makes the process a lot more stressful than it needs to be. But yeah, I'm completely content with other things staying in place for a while. But the next one I want to see go is the pre-embarkation testing. And then just to close things out, I had a great time. I loved the Fun Ship meetup. Like I said, this was a Sailabration cruise, so it was us and 4 or 5 other cruise ships that met out in the ocean. I do think there could have been a little bit more interaction between the ships in that meetup, but they did do horn battles and all that stuff, which was really cool. And it was just nice to see the kind of community vibe that Carnival has, and I experienced that to its full extent on this cruise for sure. And also I really like the Fun Ship sort of mentality, which piggybacks off of the community comments that I just made. Carnival passengers as a group, they're there to have a good time. They want to meet people. They want to, experience things. And I think that creates a really good overall experience. But yeah, that's it. That's all I got for you all today. I want to thank you all for watching. Be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, all those fun things. We'll talk soon, and you all have a good night.